Thank you all so much for sending in questions for this edition of the Q&A. If you guys have questions for me, description box down below with all the details on how you can send in questions. Snowdrop asks, what would you do if Garbage Man was at your door? Close it. I would shut the door, lock it, and then go back upstairs. Yep, that's what I would do if Garbage Man was at my door. The fake Garbage Man sends me in a statement, not really a question, but he just says, I love you. I'm sorry, fake Garbage Man. Real or not, I can't express that love to you as well. The Shadow asks, who would win, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Sinister Six, or the Suicide Squad? That's an interesting question. Guardians are kind of frail. They always tend to lose members, no matter what variation of comics you put in there. So I'll have to kick Guardians of the Galaxy first. Sinister Six, I don't know which version of the Sinister Six you're giving me, but I think it's the most current. So I'd have to say Suicide Squad, mainly because they have more main villains in there. They have more powers that are interesting than the Sinister Six that could cause the Sinister Six some problems. And also the Sinister Six in the past, no matter what plans they have, they always seem to get their asses kicked by just one guy named Spider-Man. And also, sometimes Spider-Man may have some help. Spider-Man 2099 will just appear out of nowhere from the future. Or Iron Man or Daredevil's in town, so they help out Spider-Man. But nonetheless, Sinister Six, their plans never come to fruition. So the Suicide Squad would win. Matt Meffe asks, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you, Matt Meffe. A belated Merry Christmas, but a Merry Christmas nonetheless. What are your expectations for WWE in 2015? My personal expectations or just what I hope happens? Personal expectations are just very low. Like, it's super low. I'm not expecting much from them in 2015. But what I hope happens is the WWE creates new stars with the current young talent that they have. So that's what I hope happens. But if you're talking about my overall expectations, I'm just very low on the WWE right now. Largest 85 asks, thoughts on Kevin Nash versus Triple H feud from 2003. A bit of a disappointing feud, but you would be surprised by the level of match quality that they had between those two. I mean, Triple H and Kevin Nash put on some decent to good matches. The Hell in a Cell match, I mean, it was actually pretty damn gnarly if you looked at it. So, not bad matches between the two, but when it came down to the promos, you expected more. You expected more of like a shoot-style promo between these guys, like maybe like a 30-minute in-ring segment where it got really personal with them, like bringing up all the click nonsense, but can't really do that. So it's disappointing in the promo department and disappointing overall, but actually some pretty good matches between those two men. The Great Heisman asks, who would you say needs to get cut this offseason? Because we need to have money to re-sign Brandon Flowers. One guy that I want cut is Donald Brown. And here's the reason why. We're paying a third-string running back like, what, $16 million? Yeah, that's not good. Especially because he hasn't done his job. I mean, when you're losing your job to 5'8" Brandon Oliver, that's not a good thing. So I would have to say Donald Brown definitely should be cut from the Chargers. Don't re-sign Ryan Matthews because he's a bust. Let's just face it, Charger fans. Ryan Matthews is a bust. Let's get rid of him and draft one of these stud running backs like a Melvin Gordon or Todd Gurley or TJ Yeldon, because all these stud running backs are going to be falling down the draft boards to the second or third round because the NFL's stupid nowadays and don't believe in freaking running backs anymore. And if you look at it, TJ Yeldon, Todd Gurley, and Melvin Gordon are all better, if not at the same level, as Ryan Matthews. So let's get rid of his bum ass. Sorry, I just so pissed off at Ryan Matthews this year. This was a breakout year for Ryan Matthews. This was going to, like, Ryan Matthews had a really good year last year, people. And then he comes back this year, and it's just the same old shit. It's like flashes of brilliance, then he gets injured. All right, calm down. We have a bunch of linebackers that could get cut. We can not re-sign, Dwight Freeney. That'd be useful. Not re-signing Dwight Freeney to a contract would be useful. When it comes down to it, not re-signing Eddie Royal or Malcolm Floyd, because this draft class of wide receivers are pretty serviceable, and there's more interesting targets and free agents that we could use in the wide receiver department. So, not re-signing an M80 to a overpaid contract or an Eddie Royal to an overpaid contract would be actually useful. So letting those guys go. So that's really what we need to do, is just not re-sign a bunch of people we don't need. I get it, you know, some Charger fans are going to be like, but Chase, your only wide receiver is Keenan Allen. Look, Dontrell Inman can actually turn into a decent wide receiver if given the reps. There's a bunch of wide receivers coming off the books this year free agency that are better than Malcolm Floyd overall and better than Eddie Royal overall, and we can use a first or second round draft pick on a wide receiver in this draft class and get a good serviceable wide receiver for us. So we don't need to re-sign Malcolm Floyd or Eddie Royal, who are on the wrong side of 30. Just saying. I'm looking at my team's future here. I'm not trying to look into the past. Like, Malcolm Floyd has done wonderful stuff for us, but we got to get rid of him. And Eddie Royal, I've never liked Eddie Royal. I'm sorry. Never really did like Eddie Royal. He's always been inconsistent in these games, too. He'll make a big play, and then he's, like, injured for something. I don't know what it is. But, yeah, so let's not re-sign idiots so that way we can keep Brandon Flowers, and let's hope Jason Verrett can come back healthy next year, and we'll have a good 1-2 punch at the cornerback position. Michael Moran asks, who do you think will win the Super Bowl this year? Pittsburgh Steelers. I've been saying it that, you know, like, this just feels like a Steelers year. Just the year the Steelers have been having, it's just like, you know, this feels like the perfect year for the Steelers to make the playoffs and make the Super Bowl and then win the Super Bowl at, like, the last-minute drive. So I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, the other team that I would choose is probably the Seahawks, but I think Pittsburgh would surprise some people if they played Seattle in the Super Bowl. I think they would actually beat Seattle, just being honest here. And also, it's in Arizona, so I think Pittsburgh could play well in Arizona's field. Travis Nelson asks, what is your reaction to all the stuff that has been going on with Xbox and PlayStation? Screw hackers. They're assholes, man. These people are just trying to enjoy their Christmas present. You know, they just probably got that Xbox One and that PlayStation 4, and they can't even enjoy the full features of it all. I bet there's so many people that bought the Xbox One with all the Assassin's Creeds, because like that was like the lowest one, was like you get the Xbox One and you get 2 games with it, the Assassin's Creed Unity and the Black Flag. So many people were like, oh man, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to have 2 games. But those games are digital downloads, so which means you need to be online so that way you can be able to download the games, but they couldn't even download those games because people had to hack the servers. I just think it's messed up, man. Like, I get it, they're trying to pull a prank, they're trying to be funny, but it's like, why ruin so many people's Christmas? I bet you there were so many people that got an Xbox One / PlayStation 4 for Christmas this year, and they couldn't even enjoy that. They couldn't even enjoy their new toy because some people have to be assholes in the world. So you know what? Screw those hackers. I hope they get a life one day. I Love Watermelon 525 asks, what if the Bunny wins the 2015 Royal Rumble next month? I'll take a long break in professional wrestling, so I probably wouldn't watch wrestling for 2 years, so Royal Rumble 2017 is when I would make my return to watching the professional wrestling. And then, Bill Bradford asked, why did the WWE never do John Cena versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania? Oh, there's a lot of reasons. My main answer is because the WWE is idiotic, and they don't like to do things that make sense. Another thing is also John Cena. I have a feeling that John Cena, even though he knew business-wise it would make sense for him and The Undertaker to have a match, he always avoided The Undertaker because he never wanted to lose to Taker at WrestleMania, because John Cena knows more eyes are on the product when it comes to WrestleMania time, so he didn't want to do the job to The Undertaker brother. That's one of the things. I think John Cena, the way he looks at it is he's saying to himself, look, I can go to WrestleMania and yes, wrestle The Undertaker in a streak match. I could draw a lot of money, a lot of interest into the product. But if I lose, what do I gain out of it? What does John Cena gain out of losing to The Undertaker? Not like the fans are going to change their whistle on John Cena and say all of a sudden, oh, we love John Cena, we respect John Cena as a professional performer. No, he's still going to get the same mixed reaction. He's still going to be the same boring character on our television. So John Cena knew that no matter what he did, win or lose against The Undertaker, it wouldn't help him as a professional. So John Cena the whole time would avoid the question of The Undertaker. I'm pretty sure Vince has asked Cena, hey, do you want to face Taker this year? Do you want to face Taker this year? Do you want to face Taker this year? And John Cena would politic his way into not facing The Undertaker by either saying, look, I got a bigger matchup, or maybe I want to help a younger talent. You know, just pretty much politicking so that way he would never face Taker. Because if you're John Cena, if you look at it, what do you benefit out of it? Besides being in the main event of WrestleMania, besides being in a huge marquee match that would have everyone talking and everyone at the edge of their seats guessing who would win or lose, what would you personally gain out of it? Sure, you get that fat paycheck, but it's not like the fans' tunes are going to change. It's not like the fans would love John Cena even more. That's a question for you guys. Would you have more respect for John Cena if he faced The Undertaker at WrestleMania and lost? Would John Cena, as a professional wrestler currently, do you think the fans would have changed overall their perspective of Cena and actually like him more, and there'd be less boos towards him? That's a question I want to ask for you guys, because I think there's also more reasons why John Cena didn't face The Undertaker, and I think that could be a good enough reason for Cena, because when you look at it, when someone does lose to Undertaker, we kind of respect him, because it's like, hey, you put on an awesome match, you put on an awesome performance, you came this close, but you failed, but hey, that match, though, it was freaking awesome. You know, we tend to respect that superstar a little bit more, but with John Cena, I don't think he would have gotten the same amount of respect as Triple H, CM Punk, or Shawn Michaels, just being honest here. So, yeah, I think there's many reasons, but my main reason is that WWE is idiotic, but the second reason is maybe John Cena didn't want to feud with The Undertaker at all. Final Limits asks, thoughts on Kevin Nash getting arrested for attacking his son? Hey, he was defending his girl. Good on Kevin Nash. Defend your girl. That's what I'm saying. His son's an adult. His son's 18 years old. That's an adult in America. You're going to come into your dad's house drunk and you're going to try to attack his wife? I'm sorry, man. That's messed up. So I'll defend my wife too, just saying. It's more of a family issue. I can't really comment too much about it because I don't know, what the situation is between Kevin Nash's wife and her son, or if it's not really her son, you get what I'm saying? This is his second wife or something, and, that's his stepmom. So, I can't really comment on it too much, but all I got to say on it, really, my thoughts are, is like, hey, good on Kevin Nash defending his wife, because I would do the same thing. My son was 18 years old. I would do the same thing, saying like, hey, you don't try to hit my wife. I mean, I think that's messed up when you try to hit a girl in any situation. So, yeah, I would defend my wife too. So, now my son was like 12 or 13 or something like that, and he tried to do that. I'd probably just, put him in the corner and then give him a long-ass lecture that would probably bore him, but not really hit him or anything like that. But if he's an adult, then yeah, I'll hit back. That's how this world works. If you're an adult, I'll hit back. Nintendo Fanboy 1998 asks, what if instead of Bradshaw getting the JBL gimmick, they gave it to Ron Simmons instead with a different name? I don't think that would work, man. I don't see Ron Simmons playing that gimmick at all. He doesn't fit the archetype as the snob, higher up class, guy that's rich. That's just me. I just don't see Ron Simmons playing that gimmick whatsoever. Now, if you were saying, look, what if you gave Ron Simmons the heel push instead, I would make him into a really big brute football player like he was down there in Florida State. I don't think a lot of people know this. Ron Simmons is actually a Hall of Fame player in college football. I don't think a lot of people know that, but he is. So I would do that. I would bring that tradition down there. He's like, hey, I'm a Hall of Famer. You respect me. And if you did that and he has like a move like the pounce or something as his finisher, yeah, for sure. But him under the JBL gimmick, trying to act like the rich guy, yeah, I don't think Ron Simmons would be able to pull it off. He just seems too serious. He doesn't seem like he has the personality to pull that off. Red Wolf 316 asks, if Raw went 4 hours and became 10 times more boring with total non-stop filler plus a boring main event, would you still be making these Raw reviews? Hell no. No. Not at all. I would stop doing Raw reviews. If you notice, on my channel lately, I haven't been reviewing Raw in full detail. Why? Because I barely watched the whole show myself. I'm either sitting in this chair like this, or I'm talking to my friend Ross, or I'm looking up stuff on the computer that's a little bit more interesting than watching Monday Night Raw. So no, man, I wouldn't do Raw reviews if it was 4 hours long. Carson Lopez asked, do you SmackDown Shut Your Mouth as an underrated game? Because I feel that game was overshadowed as soon as SmackDown Here Comes the Pain came out. And that's not to say I don't like Here Comes the Pain. I actually love the game and I still play it to this day. I just feel Shut Your Mouth isn't appreciated enough as I feel it should. Yeah, Shut Your Mouth is a very underrated game, and I just feel the reason why it's underrated is because it was like in the middle of the PlayStation 2 era games when it came down to it, like the original PlayStation 2 games that came out. It was like in the middle of a really bad game and Just Bring It, and then a really great game like Here Comes the Pain. So it's like, Shut Your Mouth, still a very good game. But when it came down to it, I don't think a lot of people played it because they were like, yeah, I played Just Bring It, and this game sucked. So why would I go play Shut Your Mouth? You know what I'm saying? So I do think it's an underrated game, and I don't think it gets as much love just because it was in the middle of a terrible game and then a really great game. That's just me. So that's the only way I can really seduce it down. Jake Loomis asks, if the NXT rookies had Jesus on their side, could they stand a chance against Triple H in a handicap match? Yeah, if they had Shawn Michaels on their side, they would stand a chance. Of course. Shawn Michaels would talk into Hunter saying, hey, man, maybe you got to do the job for these young guys. So, yeah, for sure, they would have a chance if Shawn Michaels is on their side. Josh Chambers asks, would it make sense to have Garbage Man and Duke the Dumpster form a tag team? Yes. Yes, it would. Now, would that make me like Garbage Man a little bit more? No. But it'd be awesome to see him job out to a bunch of tag teams, especially to Los Matadores. Be amazing to see him just job out all the time. Slapnuts 2000 asks, which is more powerful, Triple H's nose or Randy Orton's ring boner? Triple H's nose. He's on the top of the company for a reason. So there you go, man. Joe Juicy asks, if John Cena and Justin Bieber had a match at WrestleMania, who would get booed more? I would... Bieber? I would hope Bieber gets booed more. I mean, if you're a wrestling fan and you're cheering for Bieber to beat Cena, I'm going to question your loyalty. I mean, seriously, whether you like or hate John Cena, would you really cheer Justin Bieber over John Cena? I'm just being honest here. If you are a pro wrestling fan, how in the blue hell can you justify cheering Justin Bieber over a John Cena? I get it. We all are sick and tired of Cena. I'm sick and tired of Cena, but there's no way in hell I would cheer for Justin Bieber to beat John Cena in a match. Because whether I like it or not, John Cena represents pro wrestling. Justin Bieber, he represents shitty pop music. So I would want John Cena to beat Justin Bieber. And I would hope Justin Bieber gets a bigger heel reaction than John Cena. So there you go. Mr. Juicy asks, how pissed off would you be if Garbage Man won the Royal Rumble of 2015? You would have to see that happen in real life, Mr. Juicy. Sadly, this isn't real life where Garbage Man could win a Royal Rumble. So if it did happen, just know that my review probably wouldn't be uploaded the night of the Royal Rumble because I probably would not be wanting to talk about the Royal Rumble at all. I'd probably take a sabbatical. I probably would wait until WrestleMania to make my review. And then when Garbage Man failed at winning the WWE Championship, I would say, I told you he shouldn't have won the Royal Rumble because he sucks. I'd be super pissed off. What do you think, man? I'd be so pissed. The Ultimate WWE Apologist asked, do you think WWE will be another awesome year in 2015? Oh, God. Yeah, sure. Yeah. If you think this year was awesome, cool for you, man. But yeah, 2015 has a possibility of, being another awesome year. Greg Toomer asks, can the Breakfast Club egos combined match Hulk Hogan's ego? No. No matter how you put it, man, Hulk Hogan has the greatest ego of all time. All 5 to 6 members of the Breakfast Club cannot match the ego of one Hulk Hogan, brother. The Gochi Man asks, what if John Cena came out to Master Booze one day and then pulled out a gun and shot some of his haters and then drove off in his car? Oh my God, really? Why do we have to do the gun questions again? I thought we were done with these gun questions. The hour happened, 911 would be called, and John Cena would be chased down the freeway. And I'm pretty sure the police would catch him, and then he would be arrested for homicide. So there you go, that would happen. Do you think Aquaman is underrated? Asked by Matt Gochi. Do you think, yeah. I think he's underrated. I think a lot of people just make fun of him because it's like, oh, he controls fish. What good is that? But Aquaman is pretty strong. Like, people forget the other parts about Aquaman is that he has, like, strength as strong as Superman. Like, I think people don't know that about Aquaman. He's as strong as Superman. Not only that, he can control any forms of water. Not just the ocean. He can control any forms of water. And plus, he can call lightning because of his trident. So, yes. Aquaman is underrated. Is Aquaman one of my favorite heroes? Oh, hell no. I find most of his stories very boring. Just gonna be honest here. I can't sit down and read an Aquaman comic in one sitting. It's more like I read it and then I'm like, oh my God, so boring. When is something going to happen? And then I just close it. Aquaman is just really boring. So I think that's why a lot of people don't really like him and a lot of people make fun of him, is because a lot of his stories, at least in my opinion, are very boring. John Cool asked, what if Justin Bieber won the Divas title at a Divas Battle Royal? I know a lot of people would hate that, but think she'll bring a lot of mainstream exposure to WWE. Bieber's a boy, though. Sure, I guess. It would be good comedy. Floyd Mayweather as his bodyguard. That would make it even better. Jay Hawker asked, what did you think of Toonami back it was on Cartoon Network? Oh, I love Toonami. Toonami was the shit. I hated the new version of Toonami when Tom didn't look like Tom, didn't look like a badass robot, but looked like some stupid droid. But I liked Toonami back in the day. It was cool. It had video game reviews. Dragon Ball Z was on there, Gundam, and a bunch of other underrated shows. So I liked Toonami back in the day. It was cool. Wasn't my main preference. I wasn't like, oh, I need to watch Toonami every night. You know, there was some other stuff that I wanted to watch, but I liked Toonami. I thought it was really cool. The Real Heel asked, since TNA put the TNA title on Bobby Lashley to promote Bellator, then do you think TNA will put the belt on Tito Ortiz? And they're still part of Spike TV, yes. Sadly, they aren't. Destination America has no shitty MMA promotion to do that. But you can see TNA doing that. That's the funny thing about this. Could you imagine one episode of Impact? It's like TNA, like let's just set this up here. TNA Ortiz won like a feast or fired match, and he got the world title shot, and then he cashed in on Bobby Roode and Pete's. Oh, I can just see TNA doing that. That's the sad part, when you can see TNA doing it miles away. If they're still on Spike TV, Real Heel, yes. Currently, not going to happen. Unless Destination America picks up a shitty MMA promotion. Rebecca Olsen asks, when did you feel was the downfall of the Divas division? In my opinion, it was late 2006 when both Trish and Lita left. Oh yeah, that's when it started for me. But when I knew it was the ultimate downfall of the Divas division, I shit you not. It was the Royal Rumble. I can't remember what year it is. I'm sorry I don't remember the year, but I can't. And it was a fatal four-way match. And there's a mystery diva involved. And then out came Eve Torres to no fucking reaction. And this was my reaction to this. I was like, who is Eve Torres? I totally forgot who the hell Eve Torres was. I can't remember the year of the Rumble or what happened, but that's how I knew the Divas division was terrible. Like, I didn't realize it was super bad until then. Like, I knew there was something missing in the Divas division. I would sit there and I would watch and I said, you know, there's something missing to this division. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something missing in this Divas division. And then that one year at the Royal Rumble where it was a fatal four-way, there was supposed to be some mystery person, and it was Eve Torres, and she won the belt. No one gave a shit. I didn't even know who Eve Torres was. I totally forgot about Eve Torres. That's when I truly knew this Divas division sucked. Sadly, you know, with all the talent they have in the Divas division, I mean, this Divas division is actually really talented when you look at the talent aspect. Like, on paper, this Divas division is actually really good. It's just the WWE sucks at writing for them, so. But yeah. Yeah, I agree with you that the downfall started in late 2006, but for me, whatever year that Royal Rumble was, that's when I realized how terrible the Divas division had become. And it's sad, because there is a place for women's wrestling out there. There is. It's just they don't know how to write for it. Reed19 asks, what if Simon Dean and Scott Steiner had formed a tag team to wage a war against fat asses? Oh, that would be a great tag team, especially if you had them face the Usos, because the Usos are kind of chubby. It's like, the reason why you guys are not reaching your full potential is because you're not using the Simon system to lose that fat ass on your fat Samoan weight. And it would be, oh, it should be amazing. And then you have Simon Dean and Scott Steiner Simon system promos. Oh, I love Simon Dean. That was one of the underrated characters. Like I love the infomercial promos that he had, where he would just go to fat people and be like, "You're a waste of space. What are you doing just sitting there? Try my new Simon system now." You know, and that's the thing too with characters like that have like, you know, like gimmick per se where they're selling something to you, put that on WWE Shop. Like, even if it's just simple, like, protein powder. Like, protein powder ain't that, like, okay, maybe it is hard to make. I don't know. I'm not one of those people who make protein powders. But find a simple, like, formula for protein powders or weight loss. Put it in there. Get your drug license, because I'm pretty sure the WWE can get a drug license. And then freaking sell it on WWEshop.com. How many of you motherfuckers would have bought Simon System? I know I would have. I would have been like, wow, maybe buy the Simon System. Yeah, man, I fucking love the Simon System. Simon Dean. Just love those promos, man. Him and Dash and Cody Rhodes had some of the best backstage promos I saw in a while. Tip number 1. Nails. Like, he's talking about nails. Like, what the hell? Piotr Nelton asks, what if the Big Show was still feuding with Cena from 2009 all the way to 2015? Non-stop feud, having matches with each other in every single PPV and Raw. Oh, shit. I would stop, man. Like, I seriously would not watch any professional wrestling. I'd be like, the opening match of WrestleMania 20 is still going on? So, yeah, man, I would stop watching wrestling for sure. Sharora Horror asks, what do you think of the Brothers of Destruction with Kane and Undertaker? Really good team. They just didn't really do much with it. Like, they would team up, but it wasn't like the Brothers of Destruction. To my knowledge, I could be completely wrong. I don't think they won the tag titles, did they? Did the Brothers of Destruction ever win the WWF tag team titles? I know they won the WCW tag team titles during that shitty Invasion storyline, but I don't think they ever did anything, like, very dominant as a team. Like, you could have had it where Undertaker and Kane could have, like, teamed up with each other. Like, just imagine if you did the storyline, let's say we started in 2002, where Kane and Undertaker teamed up with each other and they formed, like, the New Brothers of Destruction. And, you know, Kane removed the mask, and then, like, it's all Taker's fault, reason why he had to remove the mask, and he blames Taker for everything, for trying to turn him into a human and stuff. Then you could have set up the WrestleMania 20 match very, very well. So, you could have done something with it. I mean, it's a good team. It's a memorable team just by the namesake, because, like, first of all, it's Undertaker and Kane teaming up together, and it has a cool name to it. But when it comes to impact as a tag team, they didn't really do much, man. So, solid team. Jack the Talking Dildo asks, what did you think of Benoit's WWE theme? Which one? That one, or the and there's no holding me back, like I ain't driven by fear, I'm just driven by anger, and there's no holding me back. Like, which one are you talking about here? Because he had 2 different WWE themes. First one I liked, just because it fit Chris Benoit perfectly. You know, Chris Benoit was a dull person. Here's a pretty legit badass theme, but he could kick ass in the ring too. Like, Benoit, a dull person, could kick ass in the ring with the kick ass theme song. So I like that. The new one, it's a good theme, like that he had. The second one that he had, it was a really good theme. It was a good theme, especially if you won a championship. It was a good championship celebration theme. So I like that aspect of it. Had a nice beat to it. It just sucks that Our Lady's Peace never sings it anymore, because that was actually an original song that they used in their song list, but they had to get rid of it due to the Benoit incident. You also asked me to sing the theme song, so hopefully that counts for me singing. I just sang 2 different Benoit theme songs, so hopefully you were satisfied by that. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics to the worded one. Oh, no, I like the, what's the called? Whatever you have, whatever you got, I'll take back again. Like, isn't that one of the lyrics of the theme song? I think I've totally butchered it, but I remember that was part of the theme song. Benoit's theme song. Pretty good themes. RFV089 asks, do you think when the WCW agents were playing the spots in Psycho Sid's match against Scott Steiner, they said, Sid, go out there and break a leg? Show Laurinaitis, Executive VP of Talent Relations. Sid, how'd you go out there and break a leg? Yes. Oh, what a great question to go off this Q&A off. Thank you very much, guys. Hope you enjoyed your holidays. I'll see you all next time. Peace.